Hey there, and welcome back, and if you're new, welcome in. So, for today's video, I mostly want to be talking about the few things that were pretty much mentioned when it came to the, 1.2 update? So pretty much, first, I'm going to be talking about the weekly bosses that were introduced. Well, these codes, by the time it uploads, they've expired, like, what? Almost a week ago? So, apologies, but whatchamacallit. When it comes to the weekly bosses, I'm actually interested in them, and not like, oh, pretty good. Like, no, it's like, honestly, when it came to, I think it was their ultimates or the bosses ultimates, that was honestly pretty cool, not gonna lie. So when I saw it, I was like, hey yo, that's phenomenal. But what you call it? On top of that, when it comes to the bosses, there's gonna be two identical bosses. Although they're not identical, their fighting styles different from one another, and their color scheme too. But it's like, I don't know. When it comes to the bosses, they look cool. Their ultimates both look cool. Although I think I prefer this one over the pink one. I think it was the pink one, or red one, or purple. I don't remember the color. But whatchamacallit. They look nice, but at the same time, it's weird. Maybe there's like an explanation on why they look the same due to like the lore, maybe, that I don't know of. But aside from that, I'm really interested to see what type of materials they drop, and chances are for the two upcoming characters, and to see which drops they need specifically, unless they still need the old bosses, but we'll see. Now, going on to the one of the characters that was introduced, which is this guy, and his name, it's Impedidor. I'm not sure if I'm saying it like in a Lunare. Pretty much this guy. Honestly, he reminds me of Don. I'm gonna be straight up. He just reminds me of Don, but just the fighting or pretty much his class is different, and then his element is different because he's imaginary with destruction. Honestly, it might be pretty cool, but I see him mostly as a damage dealer, which I don't really need. What I want more is like better supports. I have a few good supports, but I have to build them, which takes me a while. But aside from that, it's how do I put it? He's cool, but I'm probably gonna be skipping him, especially if he's paired with the next character that was introduced, which was, what's her name? Fu. Because she's a preservation, and on top of that, she's a quantum, which honestly, not a lot of things are weak to quantum. Now that I think about it, it's mostly like electric, fire, and maybe imaginary. But aside from that, when it comes to preservation, I'll just name them tanks. What I'm lacking are supports, like I mentioned earlier. So chances are, if these two are in a pretty much next to each other, chances are I'm going to be wishing for her. Since I want to make sure I have another shielder, so I at the very least have two shielders in each team. And since I have, Lucha now, or Luce, I can put him in one team, and then I can put Natasha in the second team until I get Bailu, since technically, no offense to Natasha, you're cool and all, but it's like, I feel like she's slowly starting to fall off, which is unfortunate. Well, at least for my teams. Your Natasha can be like a completely different beast. But anyways, aside from that, I want to make sure I have two shielders and a healer, which then gives me room for either a support buffer or just two DPSs, which allow me to do a lot more damage. Because it's like, the fact that this game's a turn-based game, and on top of that, there's a whole other stuff, because apparently, from what I've heard, speed is nice, but it's not the end-all be-all, in a sense. It's like they have their own little initiatives. So I'm like, it's better to be able to last longer to then deal more damage than to just be able to constantly do more damage but die sooner. Because the longer the match lasts, the chances are the better the outcome can be compared to like just going, like I mentioned, I think it's going to be a DPS. So I'm a pretty much put him as is for now. I could be completely wrong though. But which I'm going, instead of just going gun blazing and then pretty much be weaker compared to how I was in the beginning, it's gonna be problematic compared to me staying at the same strength throughout the whole battle, which allows me to last longer due to the fact that I have more characters that are able to, one, take more damage, and then allow me to heal too. So if she's also a healer on top of that, which honestly kind of doubt it, but if so, dude, oh my god, it's gonna be phenomenal. But for now, I'm just assuming she's just gonna be like Geopard, but just quantum version of him, while he's gonna be pretty much like Dawn, but just imaginary and a destructive class instead. So when it comes to these two, if they're pretty much next to each other, I'm most likely gonna go for Fu instead of Lunare. So that's pretty much what's up for those. As for these two, although by the way, if they're not paired with each other, I will go for both of them if possible. If I cannot, then so be it. I'll have to choose one, which is her. As for the upcoming banner, Blade's gonna be coming up, which his playstyle is like Hu Tao's, which from Genshin Impact, although I'm pretty sure some of you already know what the game is, but which I'm glad since it's a Hoyoverse game. But aside from that, I like that since he's able to do damage, lower his HP to then do more damage, and then he's able to recover some HP from, I think it's ultimate, I could be wrong, or was it his skill? It was one of the two. He's able to take away his own HP but then recover it at the same time, or near the end of his turn, which is nice, but honestly, for me, it's a bit too risky type of play style. I don't really like that. So I'm most likely going to be skipping Blade, and I'm going to be going for Kafka, which honestly, I've been trying to get her since she came out, not going to lie. Since we played her at the beginning tutorial game, or was it Silver Wolf? But aside from that, I will be going for Kafka, and I'm going to be skipping Blade. That's my main decision for this. For all I know, Blade can be like the next power creep character or the next character that power creeps Sealy that I have, which is my strongest current DPS. But I'm fine with Sealy for now. It's just his play style. I'm not a big fan of it. It's too risky for my liking. Yeah, I have a shielder, I have a healer, but then again, he kind of wants to be in lower HP to then deal more damage. But then if I have a healer, it kind of counteracts that. So it's like, oh no. And then I like having a shielder, but even then, I like having two safety nets at the very least. So it's a shielder and a healer. That's why I've been stuck to that play style, and I'm probably going to be stuck to it for a while. So that's why I'm going for Kafka, who does damage. She's like Sampo, but just as a 5-star version. Element, I think she was Electro. Maybe? But aside from that, she does damage over time, which I'm probably most likely gonna need, since I don't have sample build. I could probably build them, and then I could technically skip her banner to then get Blade, but it's like, I don't like Blade's 5-star, and I kind of want Kafka for both her gaming style and character design. So that's pretty much it. So gonna be skipping him, going for Kafka. Also, I wasn't able to find anything on their Twitter account, which kind of sucked, but which I'm glad. There's a new character that was introduced, which was Luca, who's a physical dealer. Although it's like, how do I put it? His character design, pretty cool. I remember seeing him in one of the light cones, so I was like, oh, is he going to be a new playable unit, or is he just going to be like that? Because his light cone has this, I believe. Or it's like this. Which, honestly, when I saw it, I was like, oh, he's pretty cool. But then when he was introduced as a real character, I was like, oh, that's even better, not going to lie. So, honestly, and on top of that, he's going to be in Kafka's banner, so I might be able to get 2 birds in 1 stone. Although I don't really need another physical unit, since I have, what, 2, 3, maybe, physical units? I now have, no, I think it's, no, technically 3. Because there's the MC, Clara, and, what's her name? Sushan, I believe, the one with the chicken. But I have those 3. I don't really need any more for now, so I should be fine. Plus, I need to make sure I build every other unit first before I start going for them. So that's about it for these 2. Skipping Blade, going for Kafka, who also has Luca in her banner technically. If these 2 are introduced next to each other, I will be skipping him and I will be going for her. Since she's a preservation, I want more shields. Heals, I'm fine for now, but shields are nice. He's cool and all. I look at his face and he looks like Don so much. It's like, it's weird. I don't know. Also, is that the reason why, Blade is always going after Don? Because he looks like this guy and he thinks he's connected to him? Maybe? I don't know. I'll find out once the story's dropped. But aside from that, and weekly bosses, really cool. Sucks I couldn't get them, but oh well. It's fine. It'd be that way sometimes. But that's about it. So if you ended up enjoying this little rant video, just make sure to drop a like and subscribe. Really helps out the channel. And until next time, later nerds. Take care.